Hello everybody, we'll get started here momentarily. And what I'm doing right now, I'm ripping out stitches. So earlier, we'll get started here in about 1 more minute before I go into great detail on this, but I am working on the pieced border is what I'm doing right now for the current quilt that we're working on. Hope everyone had a wonderful afternoon if you watched earlier today. And now we're going to get started back up, and what's behind me on the wall are the the 4 units I created in the episode earlier today. We're going to get those sewn together, and then we're going to add a row of blocks to the top and to one of the sides of the quilt to make it 9 by 9 blocks. Hi, Janelle. Hi. Yeah, so if you recall earlier on my wall, I had a jelly roll quilt top made from one jelly roll of Kaffe fabrics. And so what I did while I was taking my break, I actually cut that up into 6-inch wide strips for my outer border for this quilt top. And here's what it's turned into. This will be the outer border, and this will be the inner border right here. So here's what the border will look like. Okay. This dark fabric will go against the piecing that's behind me. And this is called a piano key. So what I'm doing with this, I am ripping out any sections where there's 2 fabrics just alike, or some of them had a pieced, the way it ended up, it was a pieced unit. So I'm just ripping some of these out and then setting them to the side here. I just want to make sure that I don't have 2 fabrics exactly alike next to each other on this. And I ended up cutting, I think it was 8 of these long strips. So I will have leftovers from this. So here's one. And I just cut it with a rotary cutter and a ruler, and I use my cutting mat, and I just cut it every 6 inches. So there it is. There's some of my piece border. Pretty cool, right? That's going to look really good as an outer border on that quilt top. At least I think they will. But see this one I'm ripping apart right here? That had two exact fabrics up next to each other. And so all I'm doing after I got my strips cut, and boy howdy, that was a time saver. Whatever I'm going to do, that is how I'm going to piece my piano key borders from now on. I'm going to basically, it's a strip piecing technique, but boy howdy, it sure made it super duper easy and fast. Instead of having to cut out each piece and then sew each one of those little rectangles together for that border, this was much quicker. Let me finish ripping this seam out, and then I'll set this to the side, and we'll get started. We're going to get the rest of our main part of our quilt top piece tonight. Okay, so there it is. And then I'll just set that to the side, to the pile, blah, blah, blah. This I actually pieced on a sewing machine and not a serger. But let's see. So there's a strip of border pieces there. Each fabric is a different fabric, and they're all Kaffe. This was all pieced from one jelly roll. Okay, 2.5-inch cut strips. And looking at the rest of this piece, it's all good. Good. So that piece is good to go. Right there, there's a longer piece. Then it'll make a beautiful border. Perfect border for the quilt in behind me. Hi, Donna. Oh, Donna, you must be getting the rain in there in Ohio that we had here yesterday. I'm in north central Illinois, so usually weather that we get here, y'all get the next day. Excuse me. And even though these are some pieces that I have ripped out of my big units, I'm going to hold on to these because I will use these in something else. These are 2.5. This is 2.5 inches right here, so I can totally use this for something else. And I have a special little tote that I keep all Kaffe stuff in, scraps, little units like this. I don't throw anything like that away. Sarah, yes, it was muggy here today as well, and I think on Monday or so it is going to turn off hot again here. I think we're going to have it in the 90-ish area. But here is like the pile of these strips that I've cut that I still have to go through, and I won't bore anybody to tears you watching me rip out stitches. See, there's one there. This is an entire piece down the length of that little quilt top I had hanging on the wall in behind me. And there's just a few pieces I'll have to rip out, and I don't mind doing that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I have all my fabric for my borders cut. Then the episode after this one, we'll be attaching those borders, and I'll show you how I measure, because I will pre-cut my borders to the correct size before I ever sew them on. That's how you get a perfectly squared quilt. If you just sew the strips on to the piecing without measuring, it's not going to come out square. As good as we all are, myself included with that, yeah, I've tried doing that, and you'll be off an inch or two or more, just because fabric has a give to it. So it's whenever you're attaching borders to a quilt top, you want to measure your quilt top, the piece you're going to attach them to first, cut them to size, and then fit them in that way. And that way you get them nice and, ooh, Sarah, 101, yuck. Oh my gosh, you really got it hot over there on the East Coast. Ick. So let me explain what I've got back here. These are the 4 units that I made today. And what I've done, I've pinned them up here just to make sure there's a seam here, and a seam here. I just want to make sure I don't have 2 fabrics kissing each other that are just alike. That's what this was all about. Move these to the side. There we go. Okay. Oh wow, Juliana, you be careful driving. That sounds lovely where you're at. I'm not sure where LaConner, Washington is. I've been to the Seattle area many times. Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful state, Washington State is. Okay, so first I'm going to sew this seam here, and then this one right here, and then I'm going to sew the 2 halves together. That's the next step. Take out my pin. And yeah, it will kind of stay up on its own. However, right at the bottom of my design wall is an air conditioning vent, and it's blowing, so that will loosen. That's why I have stuff pinned on my board. I'm going to put a pin on the side right here that I know I'm going to stitch. That way I know I stitch down the correct side. Okay. Just like I'm going to stitch right here. Now I have the two sides together that I'm going to stitch on, and I'm going to swap to a different camera. There we go. Oops. Move that one out of my way. There we go. Okay. But yes, I was notified today, well, since I was on last, that my new sewing machine was picked up, when it's in the process of being picked up at the warehouse and being shipped via FedEx to me. I don't have, it's not showing up as the delivery date in the FedEx tracking window yet. Yoo-hoo. I'll be doing a bunch of videos on that machine. And just so it's the Allegro is my new machine that's coming in. And that was a new machine that was just released last fall. And it has a 12-inch throat space. So it does not do embroidery, but it is that machine is made for quilters. Okay, so I got to concentrate on this to make sure I line up the correct side to the correct side here. Let me see here. Let me get my shoe off. I'm just going to stand up and hold it up for a minute. I'm pretty sure it's right there like that. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, right there. Take this one down. Get pins out. Okay. That one goes there. Once I get set down, I'll tell you more about that new machine that's coming in. Okay, and then that should go right there like that. That's it. Okay. Yes. Get this out of my way. Now then, oops, okay, whew. Donna and Sarah, it is the Baby Lock Allegro, and it has 200 stitches in it with a touch screen. Well, it's not a touch screen like the big machines are, but it is electronic, and it has the same size throat space that the Jazz and Jazz 2 had. the Jazz and Jazz 2 were mechanical machines. This is an electronic machine. And whereas the Jazz had like 27 stitches, this one has a little better than 200. Needle up and down, thread cutter, all that fun stuff. But one of the really great features is it has a 12-inch harp or throat space, which means from the needle to this side of the machine here in this opening is 12 inches. So for my drapery job that has definitely been approved, they are sending a deposit. The deposit will be in the mail tomorrow. And they did add one more room to the job, so that would be cool. I will deliver them to Ohio, is where the customer's at. Third week of September, and I'll spend about 2 days there doing a custom fit and hem. So yay. There's that. Now then, let me think, where did I'm gonna have to get this line back up here because I done forgot where I have it at. Hold on, everybody. Let me have a look-see here. Oops. There's the other way. I think it's this way. Should have marked my corners and I didn't. That would be correct. Would be correct. Okay, that would be it then. Okay. Now one long vertical middle seam to attach here. Okay. Okay, so those are the proper two to join right here. After I get this done, I'm going to make my 2 rows, one to add to the top, one to add to the bottom. And once those are attached, this portion of this quilt, the piecing part is done, and all I'll have left to do is to attach the borders onto it. Do I have you twisted? Okay, something's not right here. Hold on. I do have it twisted. Boy, howdy was that twisted. Okay. Let me get this lined up a little bit better. There we go. Okay. Now I have the proper edge to be sewn. Okay. Yes, so the Allegro. And you'll get a good chance to see it in action, because I am going to be piecing some quilt tops on it. You can also free motion quilt on it if you want to do that. If you're into that, which is pretty cool. And just so everyone knows, it has a great price point. Oh my goodness. It's not a super expensive machine. I think the MSRP is $15.99 on it. I think. It's a cool machine. When I was in Boise at the Rusty Barn Quilt Show, I was demoing the machine. And all that fun stuff. And there's the one, shucks. I gotta think now for a minute, because looky here. I'm going to have these two little bits of fabric that are just alike touching each other. You know what? Just going to have to live with it. It will require way too much ripping. We'll see what it looks like once it's sewn down, and then I'll decide from there. Donna, I will tell you, my preview screen looks, I'm not seeing any errors on my end from what you're describing. Yes, and most retailers, you can get it for less than MSRP. That's what I was trying to say. So when you see it and if you're interested, even if you already have a big machine, hey, it never hurts to have a backup machine. Or maybe if you have like one of the big top-of-the-line machines, you could do a lot of piecework on this one, on the Allegro, and not put those stitches on your big one. Let's have a look at this. I may have to rip that seam out, everybody. You know what? See, look right here. See how these two fabrics touch? Oh, thank you, Sarah. I think I can live with this. There's only two places right here in this whole quilt where that has happened. And that's right there and right there. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm just going to let it fly. Let me see here. Nowhere else. What if... let me see here. What I did, after bringing it down off the wall, that was not the two halves, that's not where I wanted to join them. Now that would also be the same thing. It's just going to fly. You know what? It's all good. It's not blunt. So that's just the way this one's going to be. Oh, wonderful, Lana. Wonderful. Okay, so next, I am going to, let me see here. I'm going to put a row at the top. I have to put in a horizontal and a vertical row. I'm going to add a row up here along this top edge here. And I'm now going to take my time and lay my blocks out. So take 8 blocks this way and then 9 blocks down a side. can go there. Oops, right there, I should say, maybe. Now I'm going to take my time on this, everybody, because I don't want to sew the wrong stuff together and have to rip. So, we'll take our time and we'll get it done right the first time. Do 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 do. That would go there. That would go there. Okay. Nope. Nope. Right there. Okay. Okay, so then have a beater right here. I'm going to move my camera down so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. There we go. I'm going to bring this down. There. Okay, so that would go there. I need one for right here. Not that one. There we go. Not that one. This one should work. Okay. There, maybe. Yes. That one can go there. Yes. Leave that one close. Okay. Two more blocks, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 2 more blocks. Nope. There we go. That works. And one more. There we go. And that'll work. Okay. Put a pin on this edge because that's where I'm going to sew to. Well, Sarah, that would be awesome. And just so you know, Sarah, you don't have to have a super large computer. I personally, for embroidery, I have a laptop that I like to use just for embroidery. And it doesn't have to be a super expensive one. But that way, I know exactly where all my files and everything is for all of my embroidery goodies. So I'm going to do my best to keep these in the proper order. So, now knowing, I'm going to put a pin right up here because this is one end. This is an end. But this is not the side that will be sewn on. That's an upper corner. This is the edge here that would be sewn. Okay. I'm saying this for your benefit, but also for mine to actually drill it into my head what I'm doing here. Okay. Going to chain piece any of these simply because I want to keep it in the best possible order that I can so that I do not get this layout mixed up. Blah, blah, blah. I'm still debating on ripping that one big long seam out that I don't know. I'm probably going to do that. Oop, but if I do that, then it just messed all this up, so no, I'm not. It's all good. Okay. These two to sew together. Seam. Hi, Stephanie. How's the temps out in Nevada? How's the weather out there? this one right here. Stephanie, this is all Kaffe fabric. I have over 42 different Kaffe fabrics in this quilt top. Okay. Okay. Drop my scissors. Got those picked back up. And y'all, this is going to be a big quilt top once I get the borders on it. It's going to measure about, let me think here, 81 and 5.5 and 2.5, that's 816, about 97 or 98 square. That's not right. Okay. Hold on. So all the seams are lining up. That's not a good sign. I have it flipped or something. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, what's going on here? That's what's going on here. That should go right there. That should be the upper one. Okay, I made a boo-boo somewhere. Let's see where my boo-boo's at. Good grief it. That's correct. That one's correct. That's correct. 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 Incorrect. I did. I had the wrong side. I was sewing the wrong side, trying to do the wrong sides. Wait a minute now. What the heck? Oh, I see. Yes, it should be this end down. Okay, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal, vertical. But it's just that first block, so you know what? It's all good. It's all good. As busy as these prints are, I'll know it's there. But once you look at the big picture, it will not be noticeable. Okay. Oh, I love the rain also. Oh, Juliana, it's very easy. If you will subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, you'll be automatically notified whenever I schedule and also when I actually go live. Usually, almost every Friday night at 6 p.m. Central Time, I'm live. I call that Feature Friday. And then all the other times I go live is more impromptu, like tonight. And today. Yes, you can iron serge seams, absolutely. I actually, as I pieced each block, I ironed every one and made sure all the seams were nice and flat. And especially doing it with this cover, it looks you treat it just like a piece straight stitch on the sewing machine. It looks exactly the same, except that on the back, the bottom side, is where you have an actual chain instead of a straight stitch. The top of the stitch looks just like what you would do on a sewing machine. Here we go. Okay. So now I have to go down the side, okay? That way, now this way, all the way down are 9 blocks. This way is still 8. So I have to add another row of blocks down this side of the quilt. There's my upper corner right there. There's my pin. So now I'm going to lay out my last 9 blocks to be sewn to this top edge right up here. See if I can make this any wider. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Just back it up a little bit. I'll just move the whole camera. There we go. So next, I'm going to lay me out blocks along this edge. I love this machine, Juliana. I really do. I have two other 8-thread sergers, and the Triumph, the Euphoria, the Triumph, the Evolution, that's my original one, I still have that, and also the new Accolade. They're all 8 threads. They will do this stitch. This dedicated cover stitch, though, I'm telling you, I just love this machine. Love, love, love. Okay, so now I'm going to lay out my next group of blocks. That'll be a corner piece right there. Like that. Okay, and this one will go next to it. Let's see, vertical. This will be horizontal. Right there, I think. Okay. The great thing about piecing with this chain stitch, this is not going to come undone. I mean, if you pull hard enough, it will, but not like on a sewing machine. Okay. Hold on just a second here. That's right. That's what it's going to be. This one. So sure I don't get this. 1, 2. That one would go right there. Okay. Need one more for right here. Nope, that won't work there. That'll work there though, I think. Yes, that looks good. Okay. That was 2. That's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would go right there. Okay. That will go right there. That can go right there. We get those kind of racked up. Okay. One, 2, 3. 3 more blocks. 1, 2, 3. So that go there. That would go there. This should go there. Mike is outside doing a brake job on our minivan. Okay, and one more. This one. Go right there. Perfect. Okay, that's it. Now then, let's see if I can get this one messed up. This is my last row, everybody, for this part of the top. Just set this to the side. Okay. Once again, I will take my time to get these sewn in order. Yes, Stephanie, this has the same size table space that the big Triumph has that 5-inch harp space. You may not think it, but boy howdy, it sure makes a difference. It do make a difference. And just so everybody knows, I use the term serger even to describe this cover stitch only machine because they're all in the serger family. In the sergers you have overlock, which is like 2-thread, 3-thread overlock, And then you have cover stitch. So there's two different categories in a serger line. One is overlock, the other is cover stitch. Some machines do both, and some machines only do one or the other. Absolutely, Juliana. Yes, I agree with that statement 100%. So what, personally, from having all of these machines and everything, if you're a quilter, you're going to love this machine. I use it mainly to piece with. Now, if you don't already have a serger, whether it be overlocker or cover stitch, personally what I would do, I would start with this, and then if I decided a little later that I wanted to get the overlocker part, I would get the Baby Lock Acclaim. It does overlock only, but it also had this is air threading looper. The Acclaim is like the Triumph, where it has needle air threading and looper air threading. Donna, what state are you located in? This one here. Hold on here. That's right, this one's going to be 9. This is the Euphoria, Donna. This is the Euphoria. Now, Donna, I know several. I actually come to Ohio at least once a year to teach. Depending what part of the state that you're in, if you're in the northern part of the state, there's pins and needles in the Cleveland area. Then in Cuyahoga Falls is barn sewing. I will be at barn sewing towards the end of towards the end of October. I'll be teaching a class there. And then if you're in the Cincinnati area, there is Seams So Easy. They're actually in Fairfield, Ohio, just on the northern part of Ohio, Cincinnati proper. And I'll be there in October also. There I will be doing a serger event. And then I'll also be there in the Cincinnati area for the Sewing Expo in Ohio in October. go right there. I'm going to wait and sew these two together first. There we go. Okay. Almost got my last row pieced together. And this is super easy to thread. Once I finish this, getting this part pieced, I'll show you how easy this machine is to thread. Because it truly is easy peasy to thread. Love this machine. One more piece to put on here. It to my main piece, and that part will be done. The only thing will be left to do to this is to add borders to it, which I still have to use the iron and do some cutting and stuff. So my next episode, episode 6, will completely finish this quilt top. That is where I am going to put, that's episode 6 is where I'll add the borders to it. Okay, so Donna, I love Pins and Needles, but I also love Barnes. They're both great stores. Now at Barnes, I am not doing a serger event there. That is going to be an embroidery event. But, machines will be furnished. You don't have to bring a machine or anything to that. But, ooh, get all this coordinated here. Perfect. Yes. Yeah, Melissa is my contact person. Melissa's a great person. Love her and the whole Barnes family. I just love that. I love their shop there. They have a great event center to do classes and stuff in. Super nice people. I'd actually been there and had classes before I came to Baby Lock. When I was with AccuQuilt, I'd been there several times. Okay, there's that. Here goes the last seam for this piecework. Woohoo! So excited. Well, Donna, if you do, you make sure you tell her that Richard sent ya. Tell Melissa for her to give you the Richard discount. I'm not kidding. I received no commission or anything as far as that goes. But if you're going to go to Barnes, tell Melissa I said hi. That I said howdy. I'll see Melissa next week in St. Louis at the Baby Lock Convention. She is awesome. You know what else, Donna? my my better half is from Ohio, and we go to Ohio to visit family in the Upper Sandusky area. That's where his family's from. We'll actually be in the last half of September next month. In about 4 weeks. Another thing I like about piecing on this is this sets up much higher than the sewing machine does. So you get a really good, you don't have to be bent over to look at that. Oh, wonderful, Donna. You bought the Tiara 3, great machine. I learned how to free motion quilt on the original Tiara, and I now have a Regent. The Regent, which has the 18-inch throat instead of the 16. Great machine. Alrighty, check that out. Look at this. Here it is. This is all pieced. Let's have a quick look at it here. Looking good. There we go. So that is all the piecing done for this. It is, Donna. It truly is. I don't know if that's popular up in northeastern Ohio, but around Upper Sandusky, all the way down to Columbus and all. I know one of the big things to eat there, believe it or not, is fried bologna sandwiches. And I always make sure I have one when I go because they're really quite tasty. But yay, there is this top. I'm going to lightly pin it up on my design wall and then switch the other camera so you can get a look at it. You'll get to see most of it that way. Hold on. Let's see here. Let me just swap that camera. There we go. Okay. Let me grab me some pins. So it's bigger than my design wall. But there it is in its glory. Let's see here. Here we go. But oh, so much beautiful color to it, isn't it? Now, imagine there's that, but then it's going to be bigger. It'll measure approximately 96 by 96 when it's complete. The next step is I'm going to make the inner border of these strips right here. Okay, that will go like that. Okay, and then this will be the outer border is this. And that kind of give you an idea of what that will look like. Well, Donna, I have to admit, my family is from Kentucky. And I grew up on fried bologna and egg and tomato sandwiches. So, but yeah, I know most people think, oh, it's not healthy and all that stuff. But, you know, it's not that bad. I personally love fried bologna. And yes, I'm one of those people who also likes spam. But it's what I grew up on. Woohoo! Okay. So the next thing I have to do is go through all of these units here, and there's certain pieces I'm going to rip out, and then I'll sew them together. But I'm going to get all of my borders ready to cut out to size. And I'm going to do that on camera on episode 6, which that'll be the last one for this quilt top. We have one more episode to go. And I'm not sure if that'll be tomorrow night. It might be tomorrow night, but I'm not 100% sure. But this border, I actually made a jelly roll quilt. One jelly roll of fabric. This is all Kaffe also. And it was hanging on the wall behind me, and I make a lot of those type of quilts. And I actually thought, hey, looking at it, I thought this would be the perfect border for it, because I really didn't have a whole lot of yardage of Kaffe fabric to put a border on it, and I like a piece border anyway. So yeah, that's what it's going to be. Okay. Oh, wonderful. So in case anybody noticed what my t-shirt says, it says 0% Irish. I can get away with wearing that because my mother, God rest her soul, was Irish. So yeah, I can get away wearing this. It's not something that's, since I'm Irish, at least 50% Irish, I can actually wear this. A friend bought this for me as a joke, and I'll tell you, I've wore this t-shirt to like Kroger's, and I've had people come up to me wanting to buy it. Hilarious. Yes, my dad's side of the family is from Western Kentucky, a little area about 45 miles east of Paducah in the Ohio River Basin, a little area called just outside of a little town called Lola, Kentucky. Lola, population 80. Yes, 80. Very small town. But their family farm was about 5 miles outside of that town. Well, everybody, that's what I have for you tonight. The next episode, let's see, this is Tuesday. Will probably be either tomorrow night or Thursday. I'm not sure yet. I'll get it scheduled in the morning, and we'll finish up this quilt top and then move on to a new one. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I love each and every one of you. Stay safe, stay dry, and get out of the heat if you're somewhere where it's super hot right now, and take care of yourself. I'll see y'all in a day or so. Good night, everybody.